Hi, this is Dorothy with Dot Scrapbooking, and I am going to go to the second layout for the Stitched Together Workshop. So this is the layout that uses the 3x3 squares from that paper that's to the left there. And I just went and got the denim background sheets. Now I'm going to pull up the instructions so I can see how to do this. I have to tell you, I was kind of insecure about this whole kit. It looked like a lot of pieces to me. But I'm actually reading the instructions, and they suggest to take a 3x3 cardstock or a piece of paper, or even a Post-it note, a 3x3 Post-it note would be good, and put it in the upper left corner. So I'm cutting one right now. Excuse me. And I just happened to cut up one of my photo holders, placeholders. So if you put it up there in the corner, then it kind of makes putting down the pieces a no-brainer. And you know, I'm all for no-brainers. So I kind of like that idea. So I'm just trying to, now you see, this is where I have a hard time. I'm having to make decisions of which one to pull out. Which one should I put there? Probably that one, instead of one that looks just like it. So you kind of have to watch, you know, how you put your triangles down. So you've got the two pieces set there. Okay, so that's your start. And then I'm going to go ahead and do it over on the other side and just kind of meet in the middle. So you want to have your hypotenuse, the long side of the triangle, facing outwards from the center of the paper. And so if you put it on there right, the points come together, and you've got a no measuring starting point. So see, you've already got your square going in the center there. And so that's where I'm going to go. I'm just going to start putting the squares together, putting the two triangles together. And you're going to want to, you can follow kind of how the picture goes in the guide. So I am going to put my squares together like that. I don't know that it makes a difference one way or the other, which way you've got the papers, the hypotenuse facing. But here we go. And this just ends up making it so much simpler than having to do any kind of measurement. And so look at how those little dots lined up. That was inadvertent. But that's okay. I mean, you know, this is fun. You're putting the quilt together, and I think this might be called a star pattern. I wish I knew about what they called the different patterns in quilting. But here we go. I mean, it just makes it so when these are the 3x3 squares that were cut. And so when I cut the 2x2s, I put this whole kit together. It ended up looking, well, I mean, it looked fine. It was a lot of detail, but I ended up having to put, let me think, three squares going across and going down to make up for the 6 inches, because the square in the center is 6 inches. So it's 2 3x3 squares. So in order to have it come out right on the other one, I was putting 6 2x2 squares in the center. So believe me, this is like a piece of cake compared to the wrong way I did it first. So there we've got the a good portion of the thing done right there. And so now I'm just going to put the star points around. How cool, right? And it's kind of fun because those sapphire stripes almost look like it's the background coming through. It's, which when you're doing it, it's not obvious. But now in the video, it kind of looks like that. Pardon me, I'm trying to clear my throat. But I'm eating an icy, an Italian ice. That takes me way back to when I lived on Long Island. So, there we go. Page 1 done. Look at how cool that star is. Making all the 3-inch squares around the edges. So this is like the best way to go. Just put your 3x3 in the corner and get your little triangles going in the right direction. Okay, so I'm just continuing setting my triangles. So that's the starting point, and then I'm moving the square over to the other side and putting my triangles over there. And you'll see how it really sets up squares. And so then you can just build on these triangles to put your big 6x6 square in the center, made with all your triangles. So, I mean, this is really pretty cool. I mean, I have to... Who knew that quilters were mathematicians? So there we have our square starting. So there's no measuring involved. You know, it's just, golly, just super, super easy. So when I first looked at this, it really, like I said, it was really intimidating. But if you start off with the, you know, a right easy thing with the 3x3 square, then you take off and look at all the little squares that get formed. It's very nice. It's very, very, definitely very mathematical. So I'm just continuing with my triangles. And, you know, some people may want to match things up, but, you know, so that was that match that was obviously the same. And, yeah, so I wanted to put something completely different. So I'm just continuing on, and I just have 2 more triangles to put in the center square, and then I can add the star points to go out to the edge of the paper. Now that's sort of cool that those spots made their own triangle. Hey, you gotta love this. I'm just looking at it and I think, okay, that's really, really, it's a really neat layout. And kudos to the person who figured it out, because holy moly. So we're almost there. And then I will do the embellishing on both the pages. So fortunately, since I'm doing this over again and I have the whole kit, you know, I have a whole nother set of embellishments. I'm going to have a lot of pages made from this kit, or both of these kits. Oh, look, there's a square in the center there with the 2 pages coming together. Oh my goodness. So cool. So the next thing is doing the embellishments. Well, I was going to show, so these were the embellishments from the first page I did with the 2x2 squares, and then I had to use some of the other papers for the points. And you know what? I like this a whole lot better. I'm really, really glad that I did it over again. Oh wow, I'm really glad I did it over again. Okay, so this is the layout 2 die cuts. And I'm just gonna pop those out. Like I've said before, these are so much easier to pop out than they used to be. And I'm going to go, you have the choice of sew or sew. So what? So I'm going to take the SEW. And I will pop up the title. I've confused myself. You see that? Got to go back, flip the page over. That's where it goes. So Thankful is going to go up there. One of the little flower die cuts is going to go there. The other one's going to go on the other side. And I am going to, I set out some more of the wooden buttons. You really get a whole lot of wooden buttons with this kit. The embellishments that you get in the kits carry you a very long way. So I'm using my bright red shimmer brush so that not only do I have a really bright, I think I've got a brighter red than I would if I used my marker. But not only that, but I've got shimmer on top of it. So, I mean, if you're going to be coloring wood embellishments, I would highly suggest using the markers. And we have just gotten a color array of these markers. I mean, we're getting all colors that you can imagine. So if you haven't started getting these shimmer brushes, good grief, they're fun to have. And you can actually use a shimmer brush on all of your layouts. So you get a nice shimmer. They're still kind of glossy from how wet the ink is. But I'm just going to let that sit there and absorb into the wood for a little bit. And I'm going to use my tape double stick foam to add. It just goes a little bit further than the dots, a little bit easier to deal with sometimes. You don't have to cover everything, but I'm just making sure that the top and bottom are get the dimensions so that they lay even. And then so both of those things are going to stick out. I think on my other layout I actually put them straight down with Tombow. So this is going to be a little bit more dimension. So that fits so nicely up there. That's very good. And this is a pretty little bouquet that's going to go down in the lower corner. All the colors are picked up. The kind of salmony pink and the light blue, all of the colors are there. And then this sticker sheet is really gorgeous. All these beautiful flowers and leaves. I'm going to pop up the little die cut here and let him stick out down below. So they're kind of layered, and then this little medallion's going to go right over it with the little blue flower. So I'm going to add, you could actually, if you wanted to, just stick these buttons flat down using some glue. I chose to do the foam tape with them, but they have quite a bit of depth to them themselves. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to have them stick directly to the paper with some liquid glue. Either liquid glass or the liquid Tombow, whichever you'd rather. It's up to you, but they are pretty thick and give dimension just laying flat against the paper. So I love how bright red this the shimmer brush is. Those buttons really stick out nicely. You know, this really makes me want to look. I know someplace I've got wood buttons that are in the shape of flowers. Makes me want to go find those. So I cut up some more backgrounds for the pictures, and a 3x3 picture is going on a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 mat. So that's just so you can carry one of the flowers going across the bottom there. Now you don't have to. You could actually just put a 3x4 picture there. No problem. And the next one is also going to be, see, I was looking for that flower and it blended into the background, so I couldn't find it. So I'm getting it. Oh, look at that pretty bright yellow with all of that. Holy moly, is this pretty? Wow, it's really pretty. Okay, I'm putting another 3x3 onto a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. You could totally use another 3x4 picture if you wanted to. I'm putting the title Happy below it. They also have a Blessed. See, they get lost. So you can put whichever one you want on there. So now I'm going over to the second. Oh my goodness, every time I look at this, I'm falling more in love with these pages. Sorry, I'm obsessing. It's just so pretty. Okay, hush, Dorothy. Okay, so this one gets a 4x6 photo on top of the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 photo mat. And you could put a color photo mat here if you wanted to, as opposed to the white. That's you know, kind of your choice. I just am following the instructions as much as I can. So I'm just putting these along the line there. So once again, no measuring. And here they've got a cute little frame for the little oval. What do you call it? Journaling spot. So cute little picture frame. And I like this one better together. And so on this, I'm going to put a strip of the foam tape, but I'm only going to take a small portion off that's going to be under the flowers so that the rest of it kind of doesn't stick to the photo, so you can slip the photo right underneath there. And I'm going to put a big blue leaf cluster there and a green leaf cluster, but that's going over the picture, so I'm going to do the anti-static, and take some of the stick off of the edge. That anti-static pouch really comes in handy. We were sold out for a little while. I have to see if it's back in stock again. It's a lot of people are getting it and using it because it really comes in handy for embossing, as well as taking some of the stickum off the stickers or whatever has stick on it. So I'm just kind of popping up here and there. Going to pop up a little yellow flower and put it there. That's such a bright yellow. It really sticks out nicely. And I'm going to run the couple of dots down the center spine of the butterfly and then kind of bend it up a little bit so that it's flying. And then this gets this little cluster of red. So we have these nice little clusters going around. I love those. And the blue flower is going across the picture, so I'm using the anti-static pouch. And then a little pop-up, and a big old green leaf is going to get tucked under the little red cluster. So some more buttons. I'm trimming off the foam tape. And I'm putting one more button on than the instructions call for because I like my red buttons. That's why. Because I can. That's why. So that's my triangle of buttons there. So there we go. I don't think I could be happier with this layout, and I'm really glad I did it over. I pondered on that all night and fretted about it. But I'm really glad I did it over again, and I'm glad I did the embellishments over again. I am really happy with the way this looks. I made the other one work, but I love this one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.